Hey guys, we're live on the moon. It's Friday evening, 7 o'clock, almost 7 o'clock, October 19th, 2012. And it's been a while. We've had some terrible weather down here in Texas. I live in a little town called Richmond, just west of Houston. And, we've had the rain and the clouds mostly, but on the clear nights, the wind was blowing and howling, and I mean, you can't put a telescope on the porch when the wind's howling. I wanted to start right off the top with the Sea of Crisis. There you see the ferret, kind of centered, off-center to the right, with the two eyes and what looks like a little whisker. It's a Sea of Crisis, and this is a really good close-up of the Sea of Crisis with the whisker. And I've always looked at that thing. It looks like a ferret, with his little whiskers and his beady eyes. My mother even, when she watches my videos and she's looking at the moon, she said, "Well, there's a ferret." Yep, there's a ferret. I got strange names for everything on the moon, and the Sea of Crisis is it's just there's the top of the moon, and if you were going out on your porch or your sidewalk or your street or whatever in your yard and looking up at the moon, you would see it just like I'm looking at it right now. I don't care where you are in the United States. In the other part of the world, it would be different perspective, but this is in the USA, this is what it's going to look like. And you'll see the shadow line is, we just went from a dark moon, and now the shadow is starting to creep over to the left. And as it goes every day it moves. It's going to move a little bit more and exposing more and more of the moon. One of the things that I don't like to do is I don't like to do the moon when it's kind of like a slither, because you can't really see too much, and it's just about we can just start seeing things right now. Those two craters, by the way, that you're looking at right there in front of you, kind of centered, two large craters. The large one offset from on the right is called Atlas, and the one to the immediate left of that crater is called Hercules. So isn't that neat the way they named Hercules and Atlas right next to each other on the moon? That's pretty cool. And if you were basically going to expose a little bit more to the left, the Sea of Tranquility and the Sea of Serenity would be to the left of Atlas Crater, kind of to the south a little bit. But right now we're going to kind of go down to the shadow line, and I want to concentrate right off the top, initially at least, on this. You can see the detail. We're getting in there pretty close right now, guys, and there's something that interests me. Matter of fact, let me center it. I'm not sure what it is. I'm looking exactly centered on the screen. You see kind of it's not a triangle, but it looks like a strange set of mountains. And I'm going to zoom in on it so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm looking at the shadows. See those two craters to the offset from center, and then to the left of that is just looks like peaks. They're sticking up in the air. See that one at on the right? It's kind of sticking up in the air. You can see the defined shadow, and the same with the one on the left. They're sticking way up in the air, like they're not tires, but they are very I would say unusually shaped mountains. Now I have looked at this area before, but this area interests me. The Sea of Crisis has a series of canyons. I call it Canyonlands because it seems like there's more canyons to the south of the Sea of Crisis, and you can see the two beady eyes, and just below that, at the edge, you see all the mountain range. It's kind of and if you look close, you can see all these valleys and box canyons, and let me zoom in a little bit on that. That's good. Now see what I'm talking about. See how there's all these canyons in there. Picture yourself a little Tom Corbett space cadet walking on the moon, and you're on the Sea of Crisis, and you're going to kind of walk into one of these Canyonlands and kind of walk around. You could actually get lost. It would be like the Grand Canyon. You know, you're looking up at the mountains, and what a wonder. Let's go in a little bit more. I get too close, and then you can't. You can see the defined detail of the canyons there. Matter of fact, let me take it back out, and let's turn, just for grins, auto focus on. See how it kicked in? You can see it's wavy. That's the atmospherics. That's the atmospherics we're working with. It's not a perfect moon tonight, but we're going to give you our best shot at it. Okay, now let me go in with autofocus on. Those little things that pop up there, the yellow things, that's a camera aberration. That is not a UFO. And you can see it's wavy, but you can see the canyons I'm talking about. And of course, every time you go in real close, it you know, you do get distortion. Now, as the moon goes higher in the sky, the image itself, the atmospherics seem to, it's actually closer to Earth, so the visual information is clear in a lot of cases. Let's do this. Let's turn up the brightness just a dab, and the contrast down just a little bit. And color, I have it about 20%. Now, when I do it like this, look at the Sea of Crisis. Look at his two eyes. And you can see really small craters are very dark. Right below the bottom eye, and then there's two more on the top. And it looks like these craters are very deep because the shadow. Also, since I'm here, let me zoom into 12 Mile Bridge. There's actually a collapsed bridge at the mouth of the Sea of Crisis. And I'll try to zoom in and show you where it is. Some astronomers have looked at this thing back in the 60s, and they didn't see this, and then all of a sudden they saw it later. I'm not sure if that's true. I need to do some investigation. Look at you see the two eyes for the ferret, and then you see his whiskers, kind of like a curlicue whisker. To the left of the whisker is a straight line. See that center right there? And they say that's a bridge that wasn't there, that was not there early on in astronomy, and then it's since been constructed. Now, I don't know if that's true, but things like that interest me. Also, let's take a look at the right above. This is really pretty. This is really pretty high quality image imagery for you. By the way, I'm working on my computer crashed on me a while back, and I had to buy a new computer. And I got a really fast machine, and I'm experimenting right now. The video quality should be better, but in the process, you do see more aberrations from the camera. I think that are there. Now see how it's out of focus right now, and I'm going to try to get it back in focus manually. Okay, that's pretty good. That's a manual focus. And so I've been working on this. Tonight I'm recording at 24 frames a second. And the other thing is that I was trying to figure if, the sparkles and things if it was caused by my air conditioners, because I have window units pretty well. They're up next to the porch, next to the telescope. So I turned them both off, but I still think we're seeing these sparkles. It maybe not as many, but look north of the Sea of Crisis of the Ferret, and you'll see some more Canyonlands. Just a lot of canyons in this area around this the Sea of Crisis. By the way, the Russians, I can't recall the probe, but a while back they did land a probe. If you're looking at the Sea of Crisis right now, it was in the about the 4 o'clock position, pretty close to the edge. It was a lunar probe that actually drilled into the surface, and below the surface, way back when they discovered that there was water. They determined there's water on the moon. Of course, we've determined that as well later. Let me zoom back out. Isn't it neat that I can just zoom around, and there you can pick up some color right there. Okay, let's stop right there. That's a real pretty picture. I'd like to give you kind of an educational tour. While you're going to spend some time with me watching the moon. Well, you might as well learn something. That crater at the 12 o'clock position, that large crater, is called Tyrannus crater. Tyrannus crater. And the sea of Fiducity is immediately south of that. And what's interesting about this mare is you can see there's one crater in the middle of that mare, and you can see how when the meteor or asteroid, whatever it was, it hit it came in from the right side and then kind of hit in, and then you can see the path of the jettison particles that came off that crater. And it looks like you can see the impact of the crater, but you can also see the impact area, so you know the trajectory of the crater, how it came in. That's a beautiful picture. Matter of fact, let's zoom in on that. Isn't this neat, guys? See my little pointer? It's an aberration on the lens, that little circle, kind of centered. I'm going to use that as a pointer. And it's right there, right there. See that aberration on the lens? It's sitting right now in the impact area of that debris field from that crater. And since we're this close, look, isn't that interesting, that centered right there, that, what is it? There's some strange things on the moon, guys. Every time that I come up here and look at the moon, it's a different moon, and you'll never see it. The way the shadow line works and everything, it moves, and over a period of 18 years, the shadow won't be exactly like it is right now. Oh, and here's another. I was doing a preview of this. See, there's the mare fiduciae right in their center. See, and just off, right. Let's see if I can. This structure, this crater right here. There's something below that crater that looks really, really, really strange. And let me back out and try to focus this in. Okay. Now let's zoom in again on that. See that crater at the kind of 12 o'clock, that big crater, and then offset below that, it looks like, who knows what it is. It looks like a, I mean, I don't know what it is. See centered, that structure? Don't know what we're looking at, guys. Okay, let me try one more time to focus it. And I'll turn the autofocus on because I really am intrigued by this autofocus. Matter of fact, this is worthy. This is worthy, guys, of a drink of Starbucks coffee. And I'm going to change the lens. I'm going to put in, right now I have a 2.5 Barlow sitting on top of a 19 millimeter pan optic. And I am going to put in a 1.8 achromatic Barlow on top of that. That'll put it up to about 4.8 times Barlow. So we're going to get one. I'm going to try to get even closer than I can get right now. So hang with me. I'm going to put it on pause. I'm going to put that Barlow in there and see what happens. It probably won't work, but it's worth a try. Okay, guys, this is Bill back. I put that other Barlow on piggyback. And see, a lot of people don't know it, but you can take a Barlow, and if you put another Barlow on the front of that, then all the characteristics of the Barlow should, you know, the Pyromate marries well. This one doesn't, but it does when I piggyback. And I'm going to try to zoom now. This is probably about 4.8 times Barlow, and we'll just see what we can see, if we can see anything. Let me. I do have autofocus on right now. Let's continue to zoom. Just trying to see what the hell this thing is. Well, that's just, see, you get beyond the power of your scope. My telescope's good for up to about 480 power. You can go closer, but when you do, sometimes you lose the that is interesting. And also you can see the coloration on the left. I don't know what it is, guys. I really don't know what it is. Let's leave that Barlow on for just a minute, since it's not that bad. And let's just kind of go down the shadow line and see if we can see anything else. We're just looking for something strange. Obviously, what this is an alien base on the moon. Okay, let's work the focus on this. I don't know what it is. It does look interesting, though. Isn't this high adventure, guys? High adventure. Sitting in front of your computer, or the best way to watch this thing is plug the YouTube in high def on your flat screen TV and watch this thing on the big screen. That'll blow you away, guys. That's the only way to watch these videos, I tell you. Because I am really truly recording these at 1080p. Okay, now what I'm looking at is, let me give you a bearing on that. I'm going to look up the name of this crater, just so you know where I'm at, if I can. Well, I'm not sure I can. I'm going to put it on pause and give you the name of this crater if I can. Hang with me, guys. Okay, we're looking at centered, big crater. The really big crater is called Janssen crater, Janssen crater, named for Pierre Julius Caesar Janssen, a French astronomer from 1824 to 1907. They named these things for people, mostly older dead people. Let me try to... I always think it's fun to put in the really close Barlows and just look around because you see things that you don't normally see. Okay, now what I'm doing, see centered, see that area in the middle of this crater? I don't know what it is. It looks really strange. That's what interests me about this crater. I'm going to center it. Centered right there. See those kind of looks like, who knows what? It looks like a city, an alien base on the moon, guys. Okay, I want to turn autofocus on now. Let's see if it'll... See, I'll try to kick in. Okay, that's better. Now we're going to zoom in. See if we can zoom in and see if... See, we get so far, and then you're just blowing smoke. But we're about halfway there, and you can see. Isn't this neat? I could put in another Barlow, and I have 15 steps of zoom. This camera's incredible. Don't know what it is, guys. Extremely interesting. Okay, let's continue just down toward the edge. I want to go back up to Canyonlands with this Barlow and just look and see if we can see anything. And there's the slither at the end. Okay, let's go back up. I am recording at a higher frame rate now with this new... there's another interesting thing. Look, see how when you get close you see things. Right there, centered. What is that? It's sticking up in the air. Let's zoom in. See, centered at, I don't know, it's just some... It's a strange shape of a mountain. I don't know what it is. Okay, let's go back up. And look at that thing coming down center. Just, it looks like one of those pipes, you know, that we've seen. And there's that strange thing off the base of that other crater. Man, is that strange. I don't know what it is. Looks like a monster. Oh, see that when I start moving around on the moon like that, let me do the manual focus again. I'm going to finish this up, by the way, with just the 19. You'll see the more lenses I stack in there, the the less clear. Okay, here we are. See the ferret, see his whiskers, see his two beady eyes there. His whiskers are kind of centered. The Sea of Crisis, okay? Now what I want to do, I was talking about the Canyonlands. Canyonlands on the moon. And let's adjust our focus one more time. It seems like between, at least with my telescope, I have such sensitivity. There is a difference between the bottom and the top of the moon, focus-wise. Okay, let's zoom in on Canyonlands and see if we can. See where the pointer is, that little aberration right there? See that canyon, the way it, see how it if you were Tom Corbett walking around all those little box canyons, see what I'm talking about? Just a lot of canyons. Isn't that interesting? And let me just continue to zoom in. So you get too far and you just can't. Well, let's go back up to this 12-mile bridge or whatever it is and center it right there. And let's look at it. Centered. You can see it looks like a bridge. It looks like there's something underneath the... Don't know what it is, guys. Let's just continue to go up. Now there's a tower. Centered, right there, centered. Not a pointy tower, but you can see the shadow. I mean, the defined shadow. It looks like it's pretty high up in the air. And good picture. See centered Hercules on the left and Atlas on the right. Those two craters. Continue going up. It should start getting out of... Okay, what I'm going to do now, we're going to put this thing on pause. I'm going to take all the Barlows off. We're going to just look at it straight up and sign off so you can see it. You'll see that the quality will go up, jump up real quick. Hang with me, guys. Okay, this is a great way to end. Put in the 19 millimeter with a moon filter on because the moon is bright. When you put the Barlows in, isn't that absolutely stunning? I mean, guys, now you got to take a deep breath and look at what I'm showing you. I'm not showing you a lot of blues and everything, but you can see a lot of color still on this moon. And this is not a good night for color, but it's and I'm giving you some incredible shots. Take a look at where we were and how close we were when we were looking at them. Let's pan down here to that thing that I was looking at. Was whatever it was, it's kind of centered right there. And let me zoom in on that just so you can see. I can zoom in to an extent. But with the Barlows, I got a lot of detail. See that thing, whatever it is, I don't know. But when I put this 19 millimeter, I always get the best quality imagery because they're, the more lenses you dangle on this thing, that the less clear it's going to be. I am using very expensive lenses, and they do make a difference. in the quality. I hope you guys have been doing well. I've been spending my time watching all the Blu-ray James Bond movies that just came out. I finished watching all of them. And now I'm reading all the James Gardner James Bond books. I love adventures, stuff like that. And there's your crescent moon on a Friday night. See how it's really a bright moon. And as I say that, I'll turn the brightness down just a dab. In the meantime, wishing you and yours clear skies, guys.